Messages with Julie. We've got Farley here with Patrick, and we have Holly and Carol. And yes, I look weird. Okay, so our topic today is staying cool. Staying cool for your dogs or your cats. Domestic cats are descendants of desert animals. So they're a little bit better with the heat and lack of water. But our dogs only have sweat glands on their paw pads, their nose, their mouth. So they don't have sweat glands on their arms or on their whole body. So that's why they're always panting in summer, because they're cooling themselves. Okay, so what I'm wearing here is, we tried two things out this week, is the Ice Bandanna. It's called the Ice Bandanna, and we got it in the mail today. So it looks like that. It was $17.99 US. So it's a book called Ice Bandanna. There's all kinds of things out there. So that's this thing. Cool thing. And the other thing is a human item. Okay, that's on here, right? This is a gel eye mask. So it's like this. And it's got Velcro that you attach. You would find it near the face cleansers, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, any of those places. And it's got this soft, there's the gel things. So these you put in your refrigerator, and these little gel things cool off. Okay, so we got that. Flip that sucker around, put my glasses back on. And this was about $8.99, I want to say. Different regions are going to have different prices. So you're looking at 18 bucks and 10 bucks. Okay. This one, you had to put in the water. So I got my picture back out again. So there it's in the sink. So it was like soak it in water and then take it out. So I had to you have to have a bucket or a sink and then put it in. So it basically feels like, and it's Velcroed on the back. The big Velcro back here. So basically feels like I'm wearing a wet t-shirt. Feels like I put a wet t-shirt around my neck. That's what it feels like. So I don't know. It depends. If you're in the desert, that would be great. But I don't know about how, in the moisture places. Now this one doesn't feel like a wet t-shirt. It feels like cool vinyl. So we had this one on all day yesterday around the dog's neck. So I'm throwing that one aside. I gotta be able to grab it back. Okay. Plus this one I worried about. I hung it up, like I Velcroed it around a hanger, right? And then I was like, wait a minute, it could drip on something underneath, right? I'm like, depending how well I squeezed it out. So I was like, okay. Like I said, we're just testing these things out for keep our guys cool. But this one, I put it on her like this, loosely on her neck, kind of went underneath. Lost my ear, but you can still hear me. And then we didn't want to put it too tight because when the air gets warm, it expands. So it wouldn't be tight, but it's Velcro. And so she wore it like that. I moved it like this, and she's used to getting groomed, the test dog. So she's used to having bandanas on, and she didn't mind it. In fact, she didn't want me to take it off. I wanted to put it back in the refrigerator, and she was like, no touch, mine. It's mine. I said, well, can I use it later? And she's like, yeah, when I'm done. Was like, right? Yeah, when I'm done. So I had to wait till she was sleeping and then go to the Velcro and take it off. And it does work. I'm really a fan of this for dogs because we did have an incident today. There was a little dog that was too close to the house door that was being walked by someone on a leash. So the test dog went, right? He was like into protection mode, like, and this thing came right off. Like, yep, it was like, boom. So you wouldn't have to worry about, your dog hurting themselves, hanging themselves. Usually dogs don't hang themselves, but if you're talking about smaller dogs or, and then, so what about smaller dogs, right? What about smaller dogs?
On their bellies.
Yeah, right. Yeah. put it around their belly for the smaller dog. You just wear it around their belly to keep them cool down there, or on top of their back. On top of their back. Yeah. Okay. And buy like 2 or 3 of them to keep them in the fridge and keep switching them off, because like every 2 hours they warm up, right? They're just jelly. Okay, so throwing that aside, back up. Yep. And oh yeah, so I called that the gel eye mask. Human, it's for humans, it's not for dogs. And it's next to the cleansers in all the stores. Trust me, ladies know that they're there, but men, if they're there in all the stores next to the cleansers, there's some sort of cooling mask like that for like $10. Okay, so if you're just joining us, I'm Julie Evans, talkie lady. So I'm an empath. I feel what the animal feels in my own body. Okay, and then I hear them in English. So I'm able to have a conversation with them. And they so want to get along with their colony or their pack. So they will adjust their behavior, their choice, based upon our conversation. Usually, just like humans, it's hard to change a habit. Okay, so they need to be reminded. So that's what I feel, I hear, I talk, and I have all these body processes because I train to work on human bodies and with humans, and with grief with humans, and so I use it all for the animals, and except if the grief is in loss of a pet, and then I work with the human. So, okay, I heard that Carol has some questions.
Cali is just nuts. Every time Holly comes over here, she goes nuts. She's constantly basically screaming at her. She just walks by her and she's,
Okay.
She was eating something today.
I was feeding her.
And
She shared dinner.
Yeah, she ate part of her dinner with her and she was fine. As soon as Holly put her fork down and everything else, then she's screeching at her again. What's with her? Holly keeps calling her Bitchy Betty, but this is getting to be ridiculous.
She is bitchin' Betty.
Bitchin' Betty. Well, I'm getting something to write down so I can talk with her.
She's sleeping now. Now she's being nice.
Well, she wanted to come up on the couch between us and go by mom.
Okay.
So she jumped up here and she looked at me and she went and took off.
So everybody, when I do the readings, I write down the animal's name, and then I write down the words that come to me that they're telling me, or pictures they show me. So, okay, Cali. And I know Cali from telepathically already. Ellie, what's going on? Oh, she right away said Big Panther work. Okay, yeah. Are you doing your Big Panther work? She said not every day. Okay. What did you eat today? Holly's food. Okay. All right. Did you have to take it from her? Was she not looking? No, she gave it to me. Okay. So what makes you meow at her or screech? Yeah, she's showing me this. What makes you do that towards Holly? I don't like her. I don't like how she smells. Okay. She smells not right. She doesn't smell right. So what does she smell like? What is it like? Another animal? Yes, she smells like another animal and it stinks. Okay.
That's what mom said. That's exactly what she said to me.
No
I think
way.
it's that you stink of your cats.
Of your cats, and she can smell that. I'm still right next to her, and
she can't smell
I
nothing.
can't smell nothing.
Well, you know how it is. It's animals smelling each other.
Yeah, and Callie's ability to smell is like, I don't know what, 40 times. I don't know how many times it's greater than humans. Okay, so Callie, yeah, you know what?
And she barely tolerates Oscar, much less Holly coming in with Leo, Aria, and what's who was
Elwood.
Elwood's left.
And look at how sweet this one is.
Oscar
Ca-
just came in
yeah,
to say hi to you.
Hey, Oscar, how's it going? Yeah, Callie
Yeah.
saying princess. Callie calls Oscar princess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look at how sweet the princess is.
Yes. So Callie is saying it's Elwood.
She hates Elwood?
She's saying I smell Elwood. It's Elwood.
Okay.
Get away
Elwood?
from me with that Elwood smell. Ooh, okay. 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 Well, I do mark this when it gets on YouTube that it's not for kids. So she is saying, like, I don't want to be impregnated. That's what she's saying. I don't want to be impregnated. Like, she's like, get away from me, Elwood. Even though Elwood's not there, just his smell is there. Elwood is one of Holly's cats. And so,
But Elwood is fixed.
right, but he's still a male. Okay,
Okay.
so Callie, has something unpleasant happened with a male? Yes, I don't like them. They stink. And I don't want them around me.
That's why
Okay.
poor Oscar gets smacked all the time.
Did something happen with your body? Yes. I don't like them. Okay, yeah, she is showing me the mating of the male on top from behind. Okay.
Hi,
But she didn't get fixed until she was grown, right?
Have no idea. But she was fixed when she came to us.
Okay.
She got hit by a car on the street in front of us, and her people just dumped her and left. And poor little Oscar gets the brunt of it. And Holly, of course.
And she's saying, well, Holly stinks. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Maybe when you come in, you should wash your hands real good.
You know what it is? I take my shoes off, and you know what she does every day?
Huh.
She always rubs on my shoes. And I play with my socks every morning with Elwood. So he plays with my socks with me.
Yeah.
So that might be why my feet stink really bad like Elwood.
Right. And then you've been wearing those socks all day. So the smell's been percolating. Whatever
Right.
pheromone it is, what we can't smell, whatever it is that she's
Right.
smelling.
But that's it right there.
I guess right.
Well, I just told her that
Harley,
Elwood
here.
isn't going to jump
Come here.
on you. I will smack him. Like, I won't let him do that, to you. She doesn't like the male because, something happened in the past with a male that was unpleasant.
Sure.
Harley.
And I said, I'll smack him. Elwood, I can't see Elwood doing that. He's a total house cat. Even though he's
Right.
a tomcat, he is a tomcat. He's male, but like you say, he's fixed. But she has had an experience that was unpleasant.
Well, that makes sense.
That's why she's so like, get away from me, because you smell it, you stink like a male.
Sure.
And she has something very serious against males.
Okay.
Well,
And-
that
and I
makes sense why she's always laying on my shoes too.
Yeah. And I told her mama will protect her too.
Oh, yeah.
And she told me, she can't do nothing. Yeah, she can. She can get a broom. She can get a broom and smack a male off you if a male's trying to get to you.
Okay.
Funny.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Okay, I'm telling her right now that when she smells that smell of Elwood, ooh, and I'm getting chills too, that she is safe, she is secure, she is protected. Safe, secure, protected. I hit the wrong button before, so now we're gonna hear that every few minutes.
Barb.
So what I'm doing now on Cali is a trauma clearing. We're clearing and it went 6th dimension to 32nd dimension to 72 and 1 through 5 and certain processes that I learned to work with human energy and human trauma. That's what I'm doing now. When you hear me kind of muttering, like 32, 50 pages of energetic clearings. Was like I said, she had an unpleasant, I'm using PC words, an unpleasant experience. And you can guess what that experience was. When she was not with Carol and Holly. That's right. She was younger. She was younger and she was outdoors.
Yep.
She said, I was outdoors, indoors at that time.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So she was saying, I'm saying you're valuable, you're loved. And she said, I feel like a piece of trash. And I said, you're not, throw that in the toilet, throw it in the toilet, that programming. So we're getting to something that happened in her first year or two. That was a trauma. Yeah, that we're able to at least clear a layer of it. Animals are similar to humans that way. You know, things happen and their body absorbs it and and they go forward and sometimes they're a bitch because of it. So we'll see what shifts. It's interesting to see what shifts. And it's really cool that her people knew what was going on. I mean, they guessed it, but they didn't guess it. Like you're so in tune with your animals that you know. You knew, Carol.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just guessed that, the only thing I can think of is all her other cats are smelling them on her.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are males.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
know?
And she
And
does it.
Get dressed every morning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I throws at him and he grabs them.
Holly does like this kind of thing with her socks before she puts them on. So she does this when she plays with Elwood the cat. So his paw scent is on her socks before she puts them on. This is just a rag. It's not a sock, but it's what I had next to me. So that's what she's talking about, how Elwood's scent is on her socks.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool. So
Well-
Patch.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
So Patrick,
Yeah.
what's been going on with you? And did you find any cooling mats?
No, I really wasn't looking for one for myself. When you brought them up, I was just interested in where they were. Maybe give some information to you if you weren't sure where to get them. Wasn't
Right.
real sure.
And so Patrick sent me and he's like, oh, Amazon, Target, Walmart, blah, blah, blah. So I did a quick search and sometimes they call a cooling mat something that just is a different fabric. It's not actually 10 degrees cooler. So it's like, I like the things that are, I threw it over here, but like that are vinyl and that have something in them, whether gel or something. And that is what I really like for the dogs.
Okay.
I'm not really a big fan, unless you're in the desert, of this soak it in water thing either, because the Midwest and the East Coast are humid climates already. And I'm not really a fan of just a different fabric. I also want the gel inside of it. So they're called cooling mats or ice bandanas. They use that term, it's not a licensed term, so like anybody can use it. So that's what I found, is there was just this wide variation of what it was called. So it's a matter of trial and error. And while I was waiting for Amazon to deliver the ice bandana, I decided to use my own eye mask and put it on the dog that I was taking care of. And it worked out best.
And my floors are pretty cool. I've got ceramic tiling in my kitchen, and
Oh,
my
yes.
living room. My living room's as like a hardwood floor. So they stay cool on that.
Oh.
They don't get warm.
That's right. That's right. And the homes that have carpeting, that's where they get warm, or even when they're laying on the sofa, they get warm.
Yeah.
Because what's comfortable to us is warm to some breeds, because they have two coats of hair. They've got the, you
Yeah.
know, the initial coat and then the other one over, and no sweat glands
Yep.
on the body. So yeah. And again, everybody knows, don't leave them in the car unless you leave the air conditioning running, which I've
Right.
done, but I have an older car and I have dogs that'll bite. So I don't have to, nobody's gonna steal the car and the dog. It's like, good luck stealing these dogs. Because I have the ones that are like not beginner dogs, right? But as a nice way to put it. Which I also discovered today too, that the potty pads, okay, work really good for cleaning up blood.
Okay.
There was an injury, there was a paw injury today, and it got on the carpet. So hydrogen peroxide breaks down the enzyme of blood. So you put hydrogen peroxide on it, it starts to bubble, it just breaks it down. And then you take the potty pad over it and it absorbs the broken down blood right up out of your carpet. It works
Okay.
better than paper towel. Yeah, because the potty pad already has that vinyl thing on the bottom. It's got
And it has a soaker
absorbent.
in it.
It's got, yeah. And so I just got a big potty pad out and just used that and went squeegeed it out of the carpet after I put the hydrogen peroxide on it and got it up. Yeah, I've had a day with dogs. There was a paw injury already.
Yeah.
Didn't have to go to the vet, but you know, some things just bleed a lot. You know, so it's
Their
like,
paws bleed a lot. Their paws bleed a lot.
yeah, and it wasn't a groomer, it wasn't anything, it was a freak. It was a freak thing. And yeah, there won't be
Yeah.
a
A few weeks ago, my two pups are roughhousing a little bit too hard, and one of them got a paw injury. You know, one of them had their paw, like I said, got scraped or something. They were bleeding a lot. So,
yeah, at
but
first
I didn't have to take them to the vet. I didn't take them to the vet or anything. I just cleaned it up, and there's bloody paw prints all over. I had to wipe up, but they are playing a little bit too hard.
yeah, and I theorize that like a claw, that a nail or something gets, you know, gets stuck in
Yeah.
something, stuck in the carpet, stuck on the cement, and gets kind of ripped, because they don't let you look at them, of course. I mean, you find the blood, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just squirted hydrogen peroxide at the paw, you know, but the
Okay.
animals will lick and lick and lick it. But
Yep.
you know, the biggest thing for the humans is now getting the blood off of the floor. So hydrogen peroxide, always keep a big bottle around, and they're only 99 cents. I got one in the car, I got one in the house, you know. And if you ever get bit, like even if there's no blood by a dog or cat, any animal, hydrogen peroxide, lots of it, and it'll just drip onto the ground if you're outside, no big whoop. Like I said, if you're inside, get a pee pad or something, it'll drip onto that, and it kills any bacteria that would get in through a puncture wound, because a lot of times the puncture wounds don't bleed, but bacteria gets in there, you know, because we don't have the 2 layers of fur to protect us, blah blah. And then within 24 hours that sucker is infected, and the only way is antibiotics. And then you're like, oh, I gotta tell the store, they gotta put it in the records. And then the biggest fear of a pet owner is like, are they gonna take away my pet? Like if I go in because I've been bit by my own pet, are they going to
Yeah.
take away? You know, and it depends. They usually don't, but it depends upon the ordinances of the town or city you live in. And usually you get 2. The first one's gratis. The first bite they know about, the authorities know about, it's gratis. But the second one is like sometimes. So that's why hydrogen peroxide, avoid all of that drama. Even if you think there's nothing wrong with your hand or arm, squirt that hydrogen peroxide on there. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah. Good advice.
I learned one time, I got one infection. I had to teach for like 2 days like this. I'll put it up here. Like my hand throbbed, so I just had to teach like this. Like It's like, okay, students, I just have a little infection. That's okay. Debit left,
Never
credit
mind.
right. You know, for all hour like this, as soon as I put it down, it would throb because it was infected. It was like, so yeah. And they all had animals too, because it was a agricultural college. So they got it. It's like, oh, she got it by one of them. It's like, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stop the recording then.